We've got a cracking video for you today, and it's the new launch of Mizuno Pro lineup of irons. We've got 3 irons to take a look at. We're going to hit all 3 in this video and give you some data and some feedback of the new lineup from Mizuno. So, new Mizuno Pro lineup. We've got a 245, a 243 and a 241. So 3 different irons trying to suit different types of golfers. But to be honest, when you look at these irons, these all look absolutely stunning, as we always expect from Mizuno. So the 245 is a new version to the 225, hollow construction, that forged feel, a little bit of that forgiveness, but a beautiful look. And then move into the 243, so a little bit more of a neater, compact look, keeping that speed up there, but coming into more of that compact sort of look. And then finally moving to the absolutely stunning, the 241, the pure muscle back blade, one-piece forging, a stunning look yet again. And this is, I've got the 245 in my hand, so we'll start with this hollow construction. I think first glances, it looks pretty much the same as we've seen the 241, the muscle back blade. And many golfers maybe sometimes get a little bit mistaken with that, thinking, oh God, this is a bladed club. I'm not good enough for a bladed golf club. I need some help, but it's not. This is obviously got a lot of tech, but it's all hidden inside the actual club. So visually, as the external look, it looks absolutely stunning. And it's a little bit more compact is what Mizuno are saying. I think we sort of see that as well in that playing position there. A little bit more squat head. Don't get me wrong, it's not too small by any means, but a little bit more squat in comparison to the previous model. Medium sort of to thickish top line, as we'd expect in this iron. So we've got some sort of bulk there, but very nicely shaped, I would sort of say. Oh, it's a beautiful strike to kick things off there with the 245. So as we know, this is a hollow construction, and we've got some internal weighting happening here with a tungsten, a suspended tungsten bar that is present in the 2 iron through to 7 iron. Moving to the 8 iron, the tungsten disappears, and then we go to a partial hollow construction in the 9, the pitching wedge and the gap wedge in those scoring irons. And I think I much prefer the look of this against the previous model, you know, that's slightly more compact from that heel to the toe. Definitely looks a little bit more of a neater package there, but obviously not too small, you know, thickish top line, so it does give you that little bit of confidence there. Oh, stunning. Very good ball flight again. So it's a highish ball flight there, and that's what Mizuno is saying. Obviously with this tungsten bar in there, you can increase that launch angle a little bit more, get that ball speed pretty fast for this particular iron. So 7 iron I'm hitting 30 degrees of loft. It's in that stronger bracket as we sort of expect, same loft as what we saw in the previous model. Okay, and I think that that sound there, you know, I can definitely feel that's a hollow construction. You know, that sound's never going to be quite the same as a one-piece forging, but I don't think it's quite as loud as what we saw in previous sort of models or other sort of hollow constructions. So Mizuno's trying to help to dampen that sound within the club head. Oh, that's a nice ball flight again. No issues of getting that ball flighted, so maybe if you're looking for that extra bit of help on launching that golf ball, the 245 could be a really good option. So going back into the head and the construction, it's a 2-piece construction in this particular model, and we've got from the 2 iron running through to 8 iron, we've got a 4135 grain flow forged chemoli face and neck with a 431 stainless steel back section to it. And as I mentioned, we've got this 47-gram tungsten bar that is suspended inside the head and will be positioned to help maximize that CG location. That's a great feel off the club face. I think when you look at the back of this iron, it looks very similar to the 241, the muscle back iron. And many golfers sometimes get put off with that because they think, oh, it's a bladed iron and this is too good an iron for me to use, but it's not. You know, all the help is sort of hidden inside this head. So when you look at that clean back, it just looks fantastic. So availability wise in the 245, we've got a 2 iron all the way through to gap wedge in right hand, and then good news for you left-handers out there, they're offering it now in a 4 iron through to pitching wedge in left hand. Right, so switching over into the next model, so now the 243. So what we clearly see now is a little bit of a cavity in the back of this iron, so a tiny bit more compact from what we've just seen in the 245. And this model is, I think Mizuno is very, very proud of this particular model in the fact that they work very closely with the forging plant out in Japan and trying to create as much ball speed from a one-piece forging is sometimes a bit of a challenge for maybe the forging process in one piece. Now we've got some micro slots happening in this particular iron, a little bit wider in the longer irons to help with that launch and ball speed, and just getting slightly narrower as you're working through the set. So 243 into that plane position, and this is beautiful. A little bit thin on the top edge that we've just seen from the 245. As I say, a little bit more compact in the head, and this is a little bit more compact in comparison to the model it's just taken over, which was the 223. Looks fantastic behind the golf ball. Again, that beautiful brushed satin finish. Oh, that feels superb. Just that sound just changes a little bit when we get into that more one piece. Not quite as, I'm going to use the word clicky, but I'm going to use that loosely because the other one was really clicky, but just a little bit more of a solid feel to that. Beautiful shaping of the head, a little bit more of that rounded toe section. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Nice sort of high flight again with that particular club. So the 243, this is 7 iron, it's set 32 degrees of loft, so 2 degrees more loft than what we've just seen in the 245. So a little bit more, maybe a bit more workable, maybe a little bit more spin we might expect to see on this particular iron. Yeah, lovely flying. So again, we've got obviously the grain flow forging, we've got the copper underlay in all of these models, so that's giving that a little bit of that softer feel to the golf club. And this 243 is noticeably more compact in the blade length and that top edge in comparison to the model we've just seen it replace. So I think that's the theme we're going to see through these models. They've just got a little bit more of a compact look, a little bit more of a neater look. I mean, the sound of that is superb. I don't know how this comes across on camera here, but the sound is stunning there. And you can just see that little bit more of that control and the flight, just that little bit more spin there. We're going to look at the numbers obviously at the end and compare these, but just looking at the flight there just gives you that little bit more of a control feel to it. So material wise, we've got a 4120 grain flow forged, again chromoly in that 4 iron through to 7 iron, and then the 8 iron into those scoring irons is a 1025 pure select mild carbon steel for a little bit more of that precision in those, as I say, those scoring irons. And there's a little bit more bounce involved in the soles, and that's again another theme that's going to run through all 3 models. A little bit more bounce there just to help with that turf interaction. Gorgeous. Really enjoyed hitting that 243. Beautiful look behind that golf ball. We know we've got that little bit of forgiveness, that little bit of help in that slot there, and especially in those longer irons. I think that could be a very popular iron. So availability in the 243, a 4 iron all the way through to gap wedge, but it's right hand only. So unfortunately for you lefties, there's no left hand option. So finally moving on to the 241, and what is a gorgeous looking golf club. And this is just beautiful. Very clean look, compact, it's neat, it's tidy, and it just looks sensational is probably the best way I can describe it. So pure muscle back we're into here now. Obviously we lose all the tech really involved in what we've seen in the other models, and it's just a beautiful bladed golf club. We've got a little bit of a different padded bit at the back of the golf club now, and that's to put more mass behind that hitting area, which helps to provide a little bit more of a solid feel, which allows us to get a little bit more feedback through the strikes. So 241 into that plane position, and again this is compact, and again it's more compact to its previous model. So thinner top line, a little bit more compact heel to toe, and a lot of influence from the tour players has gone into this iron, and obviously those guys are very fussy on how that club looks and the shape of it. Right, good. Just a slightly low in the face strike. That felt like, to me, I could just feel that through that vibration. And that's the thing, when you move into this bladed club, you're just going to be maybe a little bit more punished on those mishits. You're going to definitely get some feels through those slight mishits, but it's all good feedback, I suppose. But fantastic shape down by that golf ball. So this is 7 iron again, and this is 34 degrees of loft, so we've got another 2 degrees more loft. So again, just helping to provide a little bit more control. This, what Mizuno's saying, is a shot maker's iron. And I would say for somebody who's very consistent on the ball striking, who wants to maybe shape the golf ball, not looking for pure out distance, but wants some consistency maybe on that launch and the spin to hit exact numbers, then this will be more of a suitable iron. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is a beautiful golf club. And we know Mizuno always made some fantastic golf clubs, haven't they? especially in the iron category, and that is no exception. So again, we've got this copper underlay. There's actually 4 layers to this. So we've got a nickel layer, then we've got the copper, and then another nickel layer, and then you've got the chrome plating that finishes it off. So that gives us that beautiful soft feel to it. Yeah, that's lovely. So a little bit more on an aggressive taper on that top line, which gives us that appearance, that top edge being a lot thinner than previous. You can sort of see on that back of the golf club how it sort of chamfers off a little bit more aggressively there, which again provides you that sort of more thinner look to it. So availability in the 241, we've got a 3-iron all the way through to pitch and wedge in right hand, and yes, you left-handers are involved in this particular model, and you can get a 4-iron through to pitch and wedge in left hand. Okay, so let's have a quick look at those numbers there. So as we'd expect, we're going to see more ball speed with the 245, that stronger loft, in comparison to 243 and the 241 as the loft changes through, and the spin sort of works along that characteristics as well. So we're about 5,500 with a 245, 6,000, and then into nearly 6.5 with the bladed iron as again we remove that loft. So you can see how that's just going to change the flight characteristics of the golf ball, the control aspect, depending on what you're wanting out of an iron. So there we go, beautiful lineup from Mizuno yet again. Post comments down below. Appreciate you watching the video as always, and hopefully it will catch up with you all very soon.